For our extra special for you this morning, we're zooming in on Lagos, Nigeria's bustling commercial hub, a city known for its towering skyscrapers, endless traffic, and vibrant hustle. But beneath the surface of this economic powerhouse lies a stark reality that many residents face daily, a reality where most Lagosians earn less than 100,000 naira a month, struggling to make ends meet as the cost of living continues to rise.
Now, these findings come from a recent report by PaidHR, a Nigerian startup specializing in HR management. The report, aptly titled State of the Employed, sheds light on the financial struggles of workers in Lagos, many of whom have no money left after covering basic needs like food, transport, and rent. The data paints a sobering picture of a city of contrasts, wealth on one side and financial strain on the other.
And that just reminds me of when you're driving on a 3rd mainland bridge. One side is just lush and the other is makoko. Well, to explore the findings of this report, we have with us in the studio Faith Omoniyi. He's a reporter with TechCabal, and he joins us to help us understand the broader implications of these findings for Lagosians and to also offer insights on what can be done to alleviate the economic pressures on the city's workforce. Faith, welcome to the program.
Welcome, Faith. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for coming on. I must say, to begin with, looking at the report, what were the key findings that struck at you when you looked at it?
I was particularly surprised by the fact that people have no income left after spending on just necessities like food.
Faith, I know, yeah. I live check to check.
Don't we all?
Yes, I say don't we all?
People don't save at all.
I think saving is a myth. I think it's a myth. Yeah.
Right now, people don't save, and people that manage to save, they save for rent.
Sure.
And people that maybe earn larger amounts, they save for japa.
So how is this going to affect the financial systems in Lagos generally, with people earning just 100,000 naira and rents, food, japa in the mix? What is the long-term effect on a city like Lagos as a commercial hub, by the way?
Right. Lagos is known as the commercial hub and all of that. I feel like the governments will not make enough taxes, right? Because the companies themselves, they are struggling to get by. So you cannot tell them to maybe increase the salary of staff. Productivity is really low. People burn diesel every day to just keep following the businesses. So, and if people cannot, part of the report states that people don't have spending for recreation. You don't have stuff for discretionary spending, right?
Yes.
If you cannot spend in all of these places, those places cannot also remit taxes to the government.
I noticed something, Judith. Have you noticed that very many fast food joints are closing down?
Yeah.
In my area of town, Omuodofin, you have many of them closing shop because...
I've told you many times to stop saying where you're from on television.
My apologies. You'd find out that these little, what do you call them, fast food joints are closing down because people don't patronize them anymore.
Yeah.
When was the last time you went to an ice cream, you know the one, an ice cream store?
And ordered an ice cream?
The cost is so high. So what's this going to do to businesses of the sort? How is this affecting businesses of the sort?
Like you rightly said, many businesses are closing down. I cover tech for TechCabal, right? And a lot of startups are just shutting down. It does not make business sense to continue. People can, consumer spending is strained because of the inflation, what you get for a certain amount of price before, you can no longer get it again, right? So prices are high and, I don't know, businesses will just continue to shut down or they will find a way to just go around it.
So these businesses shut down, Lagos also loses as well.
Well,
in the long term.
Yeah.
You mentioned a couple of things. Number one was the rising cost of living. Number two was food inflation. Number three was also transportation as well, because we've seen how transportation, even with the Kurukwe, the locally named Kurukwe, or even the ride-hailing services, it's hiked significantly over the last 1 year. So how are Lagosians coping with these rising costs, and what long-term effects might this have on their financial stability? Not even the state now, them as person.
So part of the report says that 50% of the people have more than one income, right?
Wow.
People are juggling.
How many side income?
I can't let HR know.
So people are juggling multiple gigs with their full-time job.
Yeah.
And even that is not enough. People still end up spending more than they earn, right? So for somebody that takes Uber before, you are relegated to taking public transport.
Or not even going out at all.
Yeah.
So people have cut the time spent going out. I thought I was going to be late for this event because there were long queues along the filling stations.
Yes.
Fully selling for 800 to 1,000 naira per liter.
Yeah.
So that would incentivize you to just cut your spending, just walk around it, maybe stay at home, don't go out too much. And in the long run, we end up becoming poorer.
And as workers are turning to second income, streams to supply or supplement their earnings, what does this trend tell us about the current state of employment in Lagos State?
Right. So the report also stated that there's a 77% employment to population ratio. That is, 77% of people that can be employed in Lagos are actually employed. So that's like a good employment rate as compared with maybe other states, right? I'm sorry, can we give me your question?
Yeah, so I was asking, what does this trend tell us about the current state of employment in Lagos State, and how sustainable is this for the average worker having to juggle 3-4 jobs at the same time?
I don't think it is really sustainable, right? Because it affects productivity, and not in a country like Nigeria where you are trying to complete a task and the light goes off, you're trying to get fuel to run it. So your productivity is damaged. And when productivity is damaged, companies tend to lose money because the average time it will take you to complete a task is now elongated. So you need more time. And now juggling multiple jobs. People are doing it because of the income, right? But then it's directly affecting productivity, which would then affect a company's income.
Yeah.
So what does this do for the individuals? Now, if I can't earn a comfortable amounts to actually make a living, and I have to turn to other jobs, I have to live far from home, definitely, perhaps maybe your health's going to be impacted.
Yeah.
Apart from that, there are other things that could also be affected. For instance, people who can't make a living would turn to what other avenue of making money? How's that going to affect crime, infrastructure, health?
So the thing about this is that there are ravaging effects on every sector. So the report states that people are less productive, that's one, and it states that the effect of all of this inflation is affecting their mental health. So I'm at my job, I'm thinking, oh, how do I eat this afternoon? How do I send my kids to school? How do I pay rent? So it's directly affecting what they give out at work, and that might probably lead to more crime rates because not many people can bear.
I'll take sharp corners. Okay, Oga, if you give me extra, I'll make this job go faster for you.
Do you get
kind of thing?
That kind of thing, and that's we don't really want that problems on our hands.
And I also noticed the people now live further away from their homes just so they can afford rent in these places. For instance, working on the island and living in Okoko. And if you wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning, you see people already on the streets. That affects, that's going to affect productivity because I will be sleepy when I get to work and I'm not going to put out my 100.
And when you don't put your 100, your company loses money.
Exactly. And I would say this for the viewers watching at home, if you have a research analytical company, you should look into looking at the lifespan of an average Nigerian. Maybe it's going to be a long, protracted time, but I'm very intrigued to see people who come from Badagry or Okowa.
You really want to see that data?
To see what it looks like. Because I know somebody in my personal life who was living in one end of the town, of the city, and working in another end of the city. And when he retired, it didn't last up to a year. He died. And it was just all of that pressure that finally when he's rested, his body now decides to disintegrate. He couldn't carry him all through retirement. And so besides, looking at the report, one of the things it stated was that that saving was a luxury for many, and with most workers lacking access to employer-based loans or credit facility. You are a tech reporter. That means there's an opportunity for creditors there. Can you speak to that? And also, speaking about savings, they also said that there's a difference in saving habits in the report between men and women.
Men and women, especially single men and single women. So it stated that single women save more than single men. I guess we all know why.
We all know. You and I know why.
Single
under
women.
stress, I mean, hey.
And married men save more than married women.
How is that?
Because
They have to take care of their
they
kids.
have to take care of the children.
Right.
You're not saving, you're paying for fees and all of that.
Yeah, but they're saving.
Of course, you save it first before.
You save it for.
Well,
Mazino, you're not saving.
I have very interesting luxuries.
No, please, I'll answer because we're almost pressed for time.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I say 70% of people that work, they don't have like access to credit, right? I feel like that presents an opportunity for digital lenders, right? There are digital lenders all around. And there's a particular opportunity for people that are employed because you know that they have the ability to pay back. They will not run away with your money. You can maybe do direct debit at source and all of those things. So there's an opportunity for that. And the report also says that, most people don't save, right? Just like becoming a luxury. If you save, you're saving for rent or you're saving for japa. Wig was like the last last rung of the saving. Props to the women.
Faith, we can't go any further on this segment, but it's a very interesting one, a very personal one because it actually touches you, touches you yourself. So it's very interesting to have you on here. Thank you very much for your insight on this.
Thank you for
We
having
appreciate
me.
you for coming on and just giving us more insight in this. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
If you live in Lagos, yes, we know the cost is very high, but try and keep your sanity together because that's the one thing. Your health, generally, is the one thing that you have that you can always just, maintain.